Ladies and gentlemen, happy 2021 to you all. I hope it's going to be awesome. Well, over here, we are kicking it off with a bang. This Friday, twitch.tv/PreachLFW, we are going to have Complexity Limit Max, Complexity Limit Tags, Echo Scripe, Echo Roger Brown for the roundtable concerning the race to world first and all things involved. Finally, after so long, so many requests, so many actions. I do want to say a big thank you to all of you who are like, get Mike to host it, because it's not been easy. It has not been easy. There was a lot of discussion. In fact, most of my Boxing Day, and was much annoyance to my wife, was spent trying to make this happen in some way, shape, or form, because these guys are just so passionate about what they do. There's a competitive element there, and they've had crossed words, they've had bad vibes, but this is bigger than that, at least in my opinion. And that's what we are hoping to have happen. So we are going to be doing that on Friday. I hope it's great. We're not going to do a fluffy sort of, what did you think of Sludgeface kind of interview. It's going to be talking about some deeper, dirty things that we are interested in order to make the world first that much bigger than it already is. And who better than the two Goliaths of raiding right now, Echo and Complexity Limit, the reigning champions, to have this discussion. No doubt there'll be disagreements. I don't think it's going to be a fight or anything, but I do think there's going to be a lot of discussion about what is the rules here, how do we make this as good as it can be, what the guys think about the different sides of the coin they're on. Obviously, we've got America, we've got Europe, we've got Asia trying to break into that market as well, and the World First Race has become such a huge event for fans of World of Warcraft that, of course, moving it to the next stage would be the way to go. And it is a community-driven event. Something I love about it so much is that it's community-driven. It's not a Blizzard-organized thing. It's a community-driven event, which means there's freedom and there's flexibility in order to make the race as good as possible and try and avoid as much drama as possible as well. So look forward to that. That is going to be on Friday. I will be hosting the show for them as they get down into it and have a talk with each other. A proper full-on talk. They have appeared on a show in the past, but not in this kind of more serious context. So for raiding fans out there, I expect you guys to look forward to it as much as possible. Of course, I have multiple things for you. You've seen our new theme. I hope you enjoy it. We've had great feedback so far. Our crew member, Mr. Chunky Ninja, spent forever putting this together. So I hope you like it. This is going to be our theme, our space theme for 2021. And we always change our theme every year and will be going forward in order to keep things fresh, keep things interesting for you throughout the next year. So it always has a nice fresh coat of paint and you can kind of tell where you're up to. The last thing I really wanted to talk about today was, of course, the hair update. This has been a big thing, and I know it seems weird to go from a race to world first over to a hair topic, but I wanted to cover it in all things before we get into our major projects, which we're doing over the next couple of weeks, including the loads of data we've had from Raider.io. Those guys have been invaluable. Some people got confused at the last video we did on this, like it's only people the add-on. This is not. This is scraped from all of World of Warcraft's available data in order to try and get you some concise and accurate information. So we've got that coming up. We've also got a whole thing on gearing coming up, which is really interesting, how gearing works in the Shadowlands. We did do a video on it last week, but we've had Finn doing it all fresh and catching up. So for those of you who are worried about catch up, which I know you are from just general stream chat, is like, can I even come back? Because the Shadowlands looks really good. Can we see that happening? And of course, a number of other projects coming up, including some hardware reviews. For those of you who like trackpads and things like that, and keypads, we have some to check out. So I've been posting them across the country for Finn to check out as well as me and get some concise and conflicting opinions on those kinds of things. Let's talk about the hair, because it's a big topic right now, because as you can see, it's gone. Now, if you did watch the first video, which I know many of you did, this is really confusing if you didn't watch it all, because this is expected, but I really wanted to cover this because this is the absolute worst part of this procedure that I had done. This is the ugly part that people don't like showing. From what I could tell, I did a quick YouTube little browse before making this video. Not many people like to cover this stage, which is just a few weeks after the procedure. So a reminder, you have the procedure done, then a few weeks later, it all falls out. It all dies. All the hair that they took out the back of my head and put in the front of my head, it dies. But the follicle should remain. And over the next few months, it's a long process. It's going to, hopefully, fingers crossed, because it might fail, and I'm fully prepared for that, it's going to grow in. But this is the worst part. And why is it the worst part? I'm not allowed to cut my hair for another few weeks, which means I am full Friar Tuck mode. Full on Friar Tuck mode. Like the back and sides of my hair, which do not go bald, are longer than I've had them in years. Like it's actually stuff I can run my fingers through. Yeah, as you can clearly see, there's nothing else. Like, look at the contrasted difference of length there. My wife is like, estimate. She's not really. She doesn't care. She was expecting it as well. But for me, it's really annoying. It's really annoying. It looks really unkempt, and it's the ugliest part. It's the worst part for sure. Is to have this, and obviously for me being on camera every single day, thousands of questions every single day. But it's fine. This is all expected. It's the way it's supposed to go. So in terms of visuals, that's where it's at. And now it should start growing. In fact, it's already started growing. So looking pretty good, honestly. It's looking all right. My wife has inspected it. She's like, yep, I can see it is growing in. And I can see it in the mirror and stuff. So hopefully we'll have something cool coming over the next couple of months. Let's talk about some of the other stuff then, like the aftercare. So I talked a little bit about the aftercare after I first had it done, where I had to spray my head every 20 minutes. I wasn't allowed to sleep, but that was only for the first few days. Once that had eased off, it actually got fine. And the scariest part was washing it, because it got to the stage where you're like, okay, now you need to start washing your hair. And I had to use baby shampoo for I still have to. It's about 6 months. You have to use baby shampoo. Touching it is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Like, touching it is absolutely terrifying, because you just don't want to pull anything out, right? That's the point. Why would you have this done and then pull things out? So that was really scary. For the first couple of times, I was like very tender, and I wasn't doing it enough. So I had some like scabbing. I know it's all gross and stuff, but I had some scabbing that was quite thick, like a very thick scab that wasn't washing out with water, because you had to kind of like spray the water. You couldn't pour water, and you can't use a shower. You had to spray it and kind of let it wash out. I put a bit of baby shampoo on and then spray until it had all washed out. So you weren't really able to do anything with it. So what I ended up doing was actually calling the doctor who did it and video chatting with him. And my wife held the camera. She's like, okay, what about this bit? Because we had quite a large mass, a scab here. And he's like, okay, look, if it's still there now, you're probably fine. Doesn't mean go ham and start like scratching away at it. But what you can do is kind of like tap it to break it into pieces. Like, just give it a tap. It's hard, you know, it's a hard scab, so just give it a tap. It wasn't itchy or anything like that. And that's the biggest thing most people have asked me about itchiness. It was never itchy. But the whole thing, I was never itchy. So tapping it gently eventually did kind of like crack, and then it did come out on its own. But it did take about 5 days for that to happen. That 5 days was really stressful because I just wasn't expecting that. I kind of expected to start washing it and it would come out and then I'd be left with just the hair. That didn't happen. It was baby steps, real patience, real baby steps. Every few days, just kind of tap a little bit and then you'd see like little bits of it come out, and then be okay with that and get out and leave it there. So as much as you wanted to kind of like, oh, I can wash my hair now and wash it all out, you couldn't do that. Now, in terms of irritation, weirdly enough, and no one ever prepared me for this, the back of my head, where they took the hair out, that got quite sore. Like 2 weeks after I had the procedure done. The bit where they put it in on top, fine. Like, this feels fine. I can touch it and everything. Feels fine. The back of my head, though, really got quite sore. Like, for a good 3 or 4 days. And I was a bit worried about it because I kind of suspected the top where they'd, like, put stuff in would be the sore bit. Absolutely not. This was fine. This bit sucked. Like, leaning on a pillow after a while, because I hadn't actually done that. I had to wear, like, a neck brace to sleep and prop my head up. So I hadn't really put anything on the back or sides of my head. When I could eventually do that and sleep normally, it really started to, like, get a bit sore. And I was like, oh, God. Well, that only lasted a couple of days. It wasn't sore enough to use sort of, like, a paracetamol or anything like that. It wasn't that sore. But it was noticeably like, oh, God, there's something there. But nothing here. Weird. Very, very strange. But that cleared up after 2 or 3 days as well. The other thing that I found very strange and worried me a little bit, and I just, during that video call, I asked the doctor about it, so it's totally fine. I told you they numb your head, right? They numb it. The top of my head did not feel right until about a week ago. Like, was numb still. And I was kind of concerned. I went down this weird rabbit hole mentally where I thought I'd, like, killed the nerves in my head or something. It was like, no, it just feels a bit odd because you've had surgery there. So it was more my own, like, skepticism about the whole thing, and that kind of thing is like, no, it's fine. It's just, you've had surgery there. Of course it feels a bit odd, but it felt numb. It did feel numb. Like, I could feel I was touching something, but I couldn't really feel the sensation. He's like, yeah, it's totally fine. And it's gone now, by the way. My head is fine. I can feel everything again, and the kids bashed me on the head the other day. So, yeah, everything's definitely fully functioning. Everything's fine. So, all in all, what I wanted to say at this update, and we'll do another one, although, of course, I'm on camera a lot, so you'll kind of see the gradual update anyway, is that I wanted to really highlight this part because it's definitely something that bothers me. This is the first time my hair has bothered me in ages because I just know it looks fucking stupid. I know it does. And it's like 2 or 3 more weeks before I can do anything about it. Because obviously I'm just going to cut the back and sides short so it doesn't create this giant mass and then nothing here. So this is the only bit that bothers me. And I wanted to get it out there. As we're going into the new year, you're going to see us on some videos soon. And I have already seen floods of questions every single day. It's like, has it all fallen out? Has it failed? No. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And now we're going to see the fruits of that labor. Now, for those of you out there who've been like, hey, where did you get this done? How much did it cost you? I want to get mine done. Wait. I beg you to wait because I don't know what's going to come of this. I don't know. I know what should come in a best case scenario. But what will actually come, I don't know. So you might as well wait and see. Because as far as I know, I've done absolutely everything correctly and then some. Everything should be good. I coconut oiled it. I did everything I was supposed to do. So it should be fine. But wait and see before you guys go like, I'm getting that done as well. Because I know so many of you are now like, yep, okay, I'm going to get it done. You said it wasn't that bad. And it really wasn't. The whole procedure wasn't that bad. Of course, I'm supposed to have another procedure to do this bit. Because all we've done is from like here to the front. But you can still see the hairline. Like, it's still there. But obviously, it's like bum fluff almost. It feels like baby hair. It's very strange. So we'll see what it's supposed to be. This is the hair, right? This stuff is supposed to be on here. This exact same hair. So we'll wait and see on that one. Who knows, man? So there you go. Lots of updates. I hope to see you Friday. I hope you enjoy our new theme. We have all those interesting videos coming for you soon. Some bigger projects. That's kind of our goal of 2021 is moving past doing some basic stuff. We still will do some of that, but more into bigger, more interesting projects. Now we have the team on board. We've got all these resources. How we're going to utilize that properly is to do all that. So please check out preachgaming.com if you want more information on the article with Limit and Echo. There's an article up by there, and also some behind the scenes stuff of our new theme and all that kind of stuff. All right. Thank you very much for listening, guys. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.